everyone, I'm back and I'm here to make a new post on the best books I've read in 2024 so far. We're already halfway through the year and I literally cannot believe it because it's gone by so fast. And my goal was to read one book a week and I am 4 books ahead of schedule. I'm very proud of myself. But honestly, my list contains YA books, it contains romance books, mysteries, even a nonfiction novel, which is not very typical for me. It has a lot of new releases, but there are some old books on there, so don't be surprised if you see something that wasn't necessarily released in 2024. So without further ado, let's get started. The first book on my list is Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. This was a really surprising novel for me, not in the sense that I was surprised that I liked it, but I was surprised at how much I liked it. It's basically a story about this mother who used to date a famous but not famous at the time movie star, and her daughters are asking her all about it. So she goes through her whole life story with her daughters, and her daughters do not want her to leave out any details. It's so sweet and so wholesome, and you get this whole family vibe, and I really seriously enjoyed it. Definitely one of the top books that I've read this year, and this is the first book that I read this year in January. The second book on my list is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. So I started the ACOTAR series this year, and it's my first time reading anything by Sarah J. Maas, and I've got to say, I don't know why I waited this long. Honestly, the first book was amazing. I was really taken aback by how well written the first book was and how much I enjoyed it. The second book, it blows your mind. This is the first time I can honestly say in my whole entire life that I enjoyed the second book more than I enjoyed the first. And I don't know how that happens. Now, I've read A Court of Wings and Ruin, and I read A Court of Frost and Starlight. I haven't gotten to A Court of Silver Flames yet, but that's next on my list. A Court of Mist and Fury is still my favorite in the whole entire series. So yeah, that tells you about how much I really like it. It's about humans and fairies and basically this one girl who gets caught in between the two worlds. So yeah, you get a lot of cliches there, but it's seriously so good. Go read it. The third book on my list is Tell Me Everything by Erica Krause. So this is my nonfiction read, and I can honestly say it was gut-wrenching. It was absolutely heart-shattering. Everything that you can come up with, anything synonymous to that, that's what it is. Because this book is basically about a private investigator who is investigating a series of rapes and sexual assaults on a college campus by football players. And the football players seem to have no consequences for it. Like I said, it breaks your heart, but it is such a good read, and it makes you mad, which I think is what it's supposed to do. It makes you so mad and so angry, why do these things keep happening? What can we do to change them? And I really loved it. I definitely recommend it. It reads more like fiction than nonfiction, so that's probably why I enjoyed it so much. Fourth on my list is Shark Heart by Emily Habeck. This book, it's very odd and it's very unique in the way that it tells its story, but basically you have this romance between this girl and this guy, and they're married, and this world that you're in, it's almost like dystopian, but not, I don't know if that's even the right word for it, but basically instead of cancer, you have people turning into animals, and that's the cancer of this world. And so this girl's husband is turning into a great white shark, and you get to see their relationship evolve and devolve in different ways as he goes through this illness and as he turns into a great white shark. It's like nothing I've ever read before, but it was really good, and you get a lot of romance in it, but you also get a lot of heart and humanity and all of the things that make a relationship work, and I really like that. Next on my list, Listen for the Lie by Amy Tintera. Let me tell you, this is probably one of my top books now ever, because, or at least top mystery books, because it was so good. And maybe it was because I listened to the audiobook. The audiobook production is phenomenal. Literally, it is... If you've ever listened to Sadie on audiobook, it's very similar to Sadie by Courtney Summers. I really like that one. And it's a great mystery. It's about this girl who basically everyone thinks killed her best friend, but she's never gotten convicted of it. And so no one in her small town likes her anymore. Well, here comes this famous podcaster, and he wants to solve the murder of this girl's best friend. There's a little subplot in the romance, which I really like, and this whole story is just, it's so crazy, and I love pulling at the threads to see where this mystery is going to go. There were a few things that were predictable, but overall, this mystery was top tier. Definitely recommend it, and if you like audiobooks, check out the audiobook instead of reading the book, because I am almost positive it made the experience so much better. All right, next on my list, If Something Happens to Me by Alex Finlay. So I recently read The Night Shift by Alex Finlay, and I was like, you know, this is a really cool book. I really like the way that he wrote it. I like the different point of views. Everything kind of meshed together really well for a mystery. And this book is no different. You get mobsters, you get secret letters, you get all kinds of things, and you're just like, wow, this is really fun. as fun as people getting murdered and chased and all of those things can be. Basically, what this book is about is it's about this guy named Ryan, who was considered to be the one who kidnapped his girlfriend. Do you see a theme here with these mysteries? Anyway, he was accused of being the one of kidnapping his girlfriend. He never got convicted. He had to change his name because this small town publicly convicted him. Can I just say the court of public opinion sucks? I hate that. I hate how people can just judge someone and automatically their whole entire life is ruined, even if they did nothing wrong. Back to the book. It was really great because then Ryan, after changing his name, he finds out that his girlfriend left a letter that said, if something happens to me. And so he makes it his personal duty to figure out what happened to her and this whole mystery surrounding his life that basically changed the course of his entire life. It's so great. You get a lot of different point of views, and like I said, mobsters, really cool. And I actually got to read an advanced reader copy of this, which was so great because I get to review it before everybody else. Next on my list is a romance because I'm a romance gal. It is called Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. This is the first time I've read a book by this author, but I will say that I am going to continue reading books by this author because Just for the Summer was so good. It was so cute, and all of the romantic things that you need in a romance novel, it was all there. Everything just made your heart warm. You just wanted to go, oh, and it was so good. And you have basically what this story is about. It's about Justin and Emma. And Justin and Emma have the same thing going on where the person who breaks up with them ends up finding their soulmate the very next person that they date. So Justin and Emma decide, hey, let's try and date each other just for the summer to break this cycle and hopefully find our own soulmates after the summer is over and we break up. Cool idea, great plot, great characters, oh my gosh, and the chemistry between the characters, it's there. Definitely go check out this book. I don't know about any of her other books, but I know that this one was great. All right, so this is the last book on my list. I probably should have read this book when it first came out, but I was just so swamped with everything else that I never got around to it. I just finished this book, Funny Story by Emily Henry. Need I say more? I knew this was going to be a good book. I knew it. So why did it take me so long to read? Emily Henry is the queen of romance novels, and this book was no different. While I didn't like it as much as I adored Happy Place, Funny Story is super cute, super romantic, and you get everything that you could possibly want out of this book. Basically, what it's about is you have Daphne, whose fiance just dumped her. And you have Miles, whose girlfriend just dumped him. Funny thing about it is, Daphne's fiance cheated on Daphne with Miles's girlfriend. And then Daphne goes to live with Miles because she has nowhere else to go because the fiance kept the house. Very confusing, funny story. But yeah, it was such a great book, and I really loved the romance. The chemistry was amazing. Emily Henry knows exactly what she's doing when she's writing romance novels. And like I said, I didn't like it as much as Happy Place, but honestly, this one's probably in the top of her books. Happy Place, Funny Story, pretty close. All right, so yeah, that is the list of the best books that I've read in 2024 so far. I am hoping that I find a ton of more books that are just as good or even better. I know, reaching, but I'm hopeful that I'll get there. And I'm definitely looking like I'm going to hit my goal this year for 52 books for 52 weeks. And I'm honestly super excited about it because I'm busy all the time and somehow I still find time for books because, I mean, books. If you like this video, go ahead and subscribe. I make videos like this all the time, and please, please, please leave in the comments any of the books that you read in 2024 that you think are just the best ever, because I'll have to add them to my TBR. Anyway, I'll see you guys later.